Baby Bump, Chapter 6, Dog Days. Remember, if you do enjoy the video, like and share and subscribe. A week after the pregnancy classes, you and Miles walk Boone through the town's courtyard. I really wish Craig had saved his ad for later in the campaign. I've been so busy going over everything when Lori taught me about labor and the babies, I've barely thought about how to counter him. You mentioned making our own commercial. It'd be so satisfying to beat Craig at his own game. Maybe we can show a before and after montage of all the renovations we've done. The same ones Craig is taking credit for? Exactly. This is our chance to remind the people of Gracetown that we did the work. Right, Boone? Miles picks up a stick on the ground and tosses it down the sidewalk. Boone eagerly chases after it, and Miles sighs. Focusing on the renovations is just going to turn into a he said, she said. What about the playground, then? Gracetown family's already back us, gotta convince the rest. So we need something new. Just then, you spot two people briskly crossing the street towards you, their arms crossed. Mayor Dixon, there you are. We'd like to have a word with you. Something has got to be done about this. About what? The Mexican restaurant down the street is far too loud. I can't get a good night's sleep. It was, just a one-time thing. It's been going on for weeks. We want a noise ordinance placed on all downtown. Fix this immediately. I'm sure we can find a solution that makes everyone happy. We'll speak with the restaurant's owner. Both Mayor Dixon and I have a great relationship with Louisa. I'm sure we can talk to her. She'll keep the volume down. Just like that, I guess there is a benefit to having a mayor who's so engaged with the locals. The benefit? If they could have solved this with a quick chat, why hasn't she done it already? Just then, Boone returns, proudly holding the stick, Miles in his mouth. He sits down in front of both of you, wagging his tail. There you are, you rascal. Did you, go all the way to Hope Town for that stick? Here, Dixon, is that your dog? He's adorable. His name's Boone. He's one of our best employees. Say hello, Boone. Miles clears his throat, then speaks out of one side of his mouth in an overly formal tone. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you two. A proper gentleman. I like him. If you think this is something, you should see him in his little dapper suit. Now, in regards to your concerns about the noise downtown, I completely understand. Not only will I have a conversation with Louisa, I'll also propose a noise ordinance, as you suggested, starting at 10 on weeknights. Oh, that's exactly the response we were hoping for. Is there anything else we can do for you? That's all for me. Keep this up and you'll have our votes when November rolls around. As the townsfolk head down the street, chatting happily, you turn back to Miles with a grin. That's it. That's what we need to make our commercial about. Keeping the noise down? No, silly. We need to highlight the part of you that everyone likes. Your love of dogs. Oh, okay. Once Boone showed up, you were totally focused and relaxed. That's the Miles the rest of Gracetown needs to see. You really think dogs are the solution? Obviously. It shows you're responsible. If you can take care of a dog, then you can take care of a town. They both take hard work and compassion. Those are traits people like to see in their leaders. We can partner with the local animal shelter to help them raise money and get their dogs adopted. If Boone's sold on the idea, I'm sold. The next day. After making a few calls and gathering filming equipment, you make your way to the local animal shelter with Miles, Clint, and Louisa in tow. Alright, Clint, you'll be in charge of set, decorating. Louisa, you can handle the camera. I don't see what you'll need me for in the first place. You owe me after the noise complaints. Think of all the positives. You'll get to help your friends out and see a bunch of adorable dogs. No, the last thing I need is to feel emotions. All laughs as an employee comes out of the back, surrounded by a bunch of puppies. Howdy, Mayor Dixon. We're excited about you shining a light on us. We could really use the help. Oh my god, I think I'm in heaven. I see you've met Zanzibar. The other fluff ball is Puff. A puppy she gestures to tackles Zanzibar, and the two begin wrestling. A nearby French bulldog huffs and sits against the wall. Ugh. That's Harris, and the shy pit bull in the back we call Pit. She gets scared easily, but she loves people. Pit rushes forward, only to stumble and skid across the tile. People give pit bulls like the wrong thing. A lot of them are very lovable, adorable dogs. Oh my goodness, she's so cute. How in the world hasn't she been adopted yet? We found her abandoned on the side of the road. Unfortunately, lots of people are worried about her being violent. Yeah, because the stereotypical thing is that. Also, it goes along with everything else stereotypical around pit bulls, but I move on. She's a total sweetheart, but the breed has a bad reputation. I'm a little worried she'll end up stuck here her whole life. Oh, that's horrible. They're judging her without knowing her. Violence is something that's taught. You aren't born that way, and anyone can see that she's just a little hyper. I'm with you. Pit bulls just take a little extra work sometimes, but they aren't inherently violent. Louisa and Clint choose a spot to film, and get the camera set up as the dogs eagerly bound around the room. Let's get started. Boone, we need you front and center next to Miles, and then we can space the rest out in the background. Boone takes a seat at the front, and Pit happily follows after him, nuzzling against his side. So adorable. You two look great. Now for the others. As you and Clint move everything into place, coaxing the dogs to their different positions, Miles frowns and starts pacing. Zanzibar is too close to Poof. They're blending together. Clint beckons Poof over to the left, and Miles rapidly shakes his head. There's too much space. I'll block Poof there. Get Harris a toy, he's too grumpy. He's a French bulldog. They're all kind of look grumpy. The shelter employee shoots you a nervous look, and you join Miles, placing a hand on his shoulder. Miles, you're being too controlling. They're dogs. They aren't just going to pose exactly the way you want them to. They can't be distraction, or they'll never get adopted. This needs to be perfect. Let me handle the dogs. You just focus on what you're going to say. As Miles goes back to practicing his lines, you turn to Clint only to find him completely surrounded by all the puppies. Looks like we're on guard, or dog duty. Let's see if we can wrangle them back into place. Oh, it can't be that hard. Zanzibar suddenly tackles Poof. The two roll on the floor, playing bitefully each other, and you and Clint each grab a dog to separate them. You two can wrestle later. Right now we need you to sit still. Set Poof down on the floor, but as soon as you let her go, she rushes at Harris. She runs in circles around him, and he huffs. Harris stalks away and sinks to the floor. Oh man. Zanzibar flails in Clint's arms and leaps at him. Across the room, Pit and Boone are playing a tug-of-war with a toy rope. Aww! This is really cute and all, but not what we need for a commercial. There must be some way of getting them to listen. Just think of it as a good practice for raising our babies. In that case, we should bribe them with treats. As soon as the words leave your mouth, the dogs all swarm, jumping up on your legs and barking. Maybe you shouldn't have said, or used the, treat word. Hell, I'm being smothered in adorableness. Clint grabs a box of treats from a nearby shelf and hands it to you. Once they have all had a treat, the dogs all leave you alone. Looks like bribery only makes them more excited. As you all take your places to start filming, a car passes by outside. Poof immediately charges towards the window. As she runs, she trips on one of the cords to the camera, and it crashes to the ground. The dogs yelp and scatter. Oh, how can something be so cute and fluffy be such a pain in the ass? This isn't working at all. It's not their fault. They've just got a lot of excess energy from being cooped up on side all day. They need a place to run and play. Ding! You all fall silent, and as you look around at the dogs barking and playing, an idea strikes you. That's it. That's where we should make our next project for a dog park. Ah, we could all give all the local dogs a place to exercise, and the shelter can use it for adoption events, too. And it'd give us more room to film the commercial. We'd better get to work. As your friends start to discuss, you notice Boone is missing. You meander through the shelter, only to find him in the back, curled protectively around Pit as they lie on the floor. Come on, Boone. We're heading home. Boone shakes his head and licks Pit's chipped ear. She trembles against him, looking nervous around the room. Did you get scared by that loud noise? Poor little girl. You bend down to gently pet Pit's head. She hesitates for a moment and then affectionately nuzzles your palm. She trembles, and they begin to fade just as Miles joins you. She's sweet. A shame she's stuck here. A dog could teach us some parenting lessons. We have Boone. Even though this one's more adorable than Boone, but I think Boone would like having a friend, too. Adopt the pit bull puppy to get an exclusive patch for your baby blankets. Enough up. It looks just like her. You already know what my decision was going to be. I couldn't possibly leave such a cute puppy here, not after she's bonded with all of us in Boone. I always thought a house was better with more animals. Can we get a couple of cats, too? Especially that one right between the puppy and whatever the hell that thing is. What shall we name her? Oh, she likes Pam. It's already a wonderful name, don't you think, girl? You beckon Pit to come closer, and she hesitantly approaches, glancing back at Boone, who nudges her forward with his nose. When she reaches you, you gently pick her up, and she lets out a happy bark. She eagerly covers your face in kisses, her tail wagging happily. Let's go home, Pit. After filling out some paperwork, you snuggle Pit in your arms as you head out with your friends. Wah, 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 wah. You've collected 6 patches out of 14 for the baby blanket. The next day, you meet up with Clint, Miles, and Louisa to start work on the dog park. If we're going to build a great dog park, we need to think like a dog, which means Boone's the authority here. Aw. Don't worry, you can help too, Pit. Does anyone here speak dog? I got this. Right now, Boone is definitely thinking about how much he wants to eat the dirt. More like grass, but... And Pit is really tempted to chase her own tail. There might have been something about the vet in there, too. Louisa knows nothing about dogs. Noted. Excuse me! What do you want to know about Boone, Jen? What doesn't he currently have? Something to challenge him? I've taught him about every trick in the book, but it ain't enough. Then we'll have to add some obstacles for him to play with. That'll keep him active and challenge his brain. With your plan in place, construction gets underway and the dog park starts to take shape. Wah, 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 wah. Louisa helps workers lay out the large swaths of grass. Miles assembles a multi-tier drinking fountain, and Clint shakes 3 ringed hoops into the ground. It's really coming together. Clint is watering the newly laid grass when Boone suddenly grabs a hose and yanks it out of his hand. Hey! Boone, give that back. Boone shakes his head and takes off with a run, the hose still in his mouth. All fun and games till the hose reaches its maximum length and one of them gives way. Come on, Pit, let's get that hose. You hurry after Boone, water spraying through the air as he dodges away from you. You snatch the hose just as Boone takes off running again, pulling you with him. Pit, I could use some help. Pit grabs onto the other section of the hose with her teeth and tries to tug in the opposite direction. I've got to hold on. 'Cause we can't let it go, let it go. You keep a firm grip on the hose, even as Boone keeps pulling, dodging the occasional sprays of water that he shoots at you. I'm not giving up that easily. You give a strong tug on the rope just as Boone relaxes, pulling it out of his mouth. That's a win for me. And for you too, Pit. You quickly gather the hose up before Boone can grab it away and keeping the spray pointed away from you. With the hose in your grasp, you turn the water towards the grass, only to notice Miles standing with his back to you. You press your thumb over the tip and point the hose straight up in the air. Droplets of water spray over the entire area, gently dousing everything around. Ah, that's more like it. Ah, nice and refreshing. Thanks, Miss Jen. Stop being childish, we got work to do. Oh, you haven't seen childish, Miles. Louisa grabs the hose from you and sprays him right in the face. She then turns to the rest of you, spraying each of you in turn, and soon you're all soaked, but laughing. I like the rain instead. Curse you, Louisa. Later that afternoon, you're sitting on a park bench while Boone rolls around in a puddle of water. Pete playfully jumps onto Boone's back, and he rolls her into a puddle as they play. It seems like you're enjoying the cool water. Can you blame him? It's 100 degrees out there. Oh, I could use a shower or a dip in the pool. You take a look around the dog park, and the barren spaces. You know, what if we built a pool for the dogs? Then we could have a nice spot to cool off. And, we could even add a few more places for them to play to take everything to the next level. Ah, we could add an obstacle course. I'm thinking of some tires and an incline. Clint pulls out a sketch pad and quickly draws up a design for improving the dog park and adding a pool. The dogs will love it. Upgrade the dog park to a lock-exclusive background for the rest of the book and make an even greater commercial for Miles. We need to go all out, not just for the dogs, but because it'll help your campaign too, Miles. More work for us. Oh, but it's all worth it for the dogs. They're happy. Don't you think, Boone? Pitt definitely agrees. The cuteness of this place is gonna kill me. You and your friends get to work, and Miles and Clint construct a series of obstacles for the dogs and frame for the pool, while you and Louisa paint everything in bright colors. A few hours later, your work is nearly complete, and despite your exhaustion, you all grin at your new design. Why don't you give it a try, Boone? Boone bolts across the grass, weaving easily through the obstacles, and then leaps into the pool, creating a massive splash that soaks you and your friends. I think he likes it. Pet scampers after Boone and goes skidding into the pool with a plump. He resurfaces the she doggy paddles over to Boone and gives him an affectionate nuzzle. We're 2 for 2 in doggy approval ratings. Let's see Craig try and counter this. Imagine doing something for everyone's approval. I hate this life. Just before you meet up with a shelter employee and get filming, you and your friends put the final touches on the dog park. You take a step back to admire your work. Look, guys, we've got running water. Just kidding. Pixelberry's not that skilled. He turned out just like I imagined. Zanzibar takes off across the grass. He dodges through the tires, dashes up the incline and back down, and then takes a successful leap through one of the hoops. Pooh shakes her fur out as she climbs out of the pool. She trots past you to take a drink from the fire hydrant. Harris sells contentedly beneath part of the obstacle course, snoozing happily. As you take it all in, Miles joins you. Already informed the shelter that the dogs can use this place every day. They'll have weekly adoption events here too. Between that and our commercial, soon all these dogs will have their forever homes. Stop it, you two, or I'm gonna end up adopting one of them. What's wrong with that? Just imagine coming home to a little ball of fluff to cuddle. Don't you start! As Louisa and Clint bicker, you turn back to Miles, who looks at the park with a small smile on his face. I told you everything would work out. You just had to let it fall into place. We may not be able to set up the perfect shot, but the dogs are giving us everything we need to make one. Worry don't get you anywhere. You just gotta trust. Not sure that'll keep us from worrying over the kids, though. We'll just have to remind each other. Louisa takes her place behind the camera while Clint lays out some treats for the dogs to keep them in frame. Miles turns to you. Any advice? Just be yourself. All you have to do is act normally. We don't want to give Gracetown some fake version of you. Miles nods and takes a deep breath before launching into a speech, his voice a dull and monotone. Hard work. That's all that matters. Lisa frowns and leans over to whisper in your ear. He looks even grumpier than usual. I guess this is his default state. Recently, we've been working on giving Gracetown a magnificent public park, and today we're unveiling the next stage, a dog park. We've partnered with Gracetown Animal Shelter to give our local dogs a place to run and play. As you can see, they love it. Miles gestures behind him, where Zanzibar eagerly jumps through one of the hoops, while Harris laps water from the fountain. We've got a full obstacle course that'll keep your dog's mind sharp, and a massive pool so your pet can stay cool during those hot Gracetown summers. Miles turns and tosses a treat into the pool, and poof, takes off after it, leaping into the water with a massive splash. Damn, he's really selling it. If I'm able to continue working for the people of Gracetown, I intend to keep renovating our community so it can become even better. Maybe it's just me, but something about that didn't sound quite right. There's definitely a slip-up. We'll just have to edit it out. If he's able to continue. We want to show people that even if he loses the election, he isn't going to stop working for them. That's exactly what was bothering me. Good catch, Jen. If we want to win, we can't afford to show any hesitation. I'm Mayor Miles Dixon, and I approve this message. Okay, I've never got that. Whatever. As Louisa stops recording, Miles frowns and turns towards you, crossing his arms. The ending is too generic. We need something stronger. Any ideas? How about, I hope I can count on your support. Miles clears his throat as Louisa starts to film again. He smiles and gives Boone a gentle pat on the head before turning back to the camera. I hope I can count on your vote in the upcoming election, so we can keep building Gracetown of the dreams. Heartfelt and inspiring, all in one. That's a wrap. That's what people in Hollywood say, right? Something like that. Now we just have to edit and get this on the air ASAP, but we've done about all we can for today. Then I'm heading home for a nap. I'm exhausted. I have to agree. Between the summer heat and looking after the dogs, I'm beat. As your friends start to pack up everything and help wrangle the shelter dogs, Miles takes your hands. Seems like we've got the rest of the day to ourselves. You ready to head home and crash? Not when we finally have some time alone. And what do you want to do with me now that you've got me all alone? I saw a shop down the road where you can build your own stuffed animals. I thought we could make some for the kids. Oh, you go shopping with Miles or romantic time alone and get some stuffed animals for your babies. I'd love to. I can't think of a better way to end the day. Miles leads you through Gracetown and into a small shop full of colorful and cute toys. You step inside, you spot a massive tank full of stuffing next to dozens of bins holding limp versions of every kind of animal imaginable. When you said we were gonna make our own toys, I don't think I realized how many choices there'd be. The first is easy. Each kid gets a toy. They should be the same toy to avoid future arguments. Well, then if they're the same, it'd be like they'll always have a connection, even when they're apart. You look through the different buckets, deciding which toys to stuff. Dragon, teddy bear, penguin, teddy bear. Everyone knows that a teddy bear is the quintessential stuffed animal. Every kid needs one. I never had one. That's terrible. You need a million teddy bears to make up for this tragedy. No need. I have something better. A stuffed cow. I get it. With your stuffed animals picked out, you and Miles make your way to the first station, where you fill each of them with cotton fluff. Now we just have to make sure they're squishy enough. A hug test is in order.
That seems excessive.
But just think. You can hug me while we're hugging the stuffed animals. You waggle your eyebrows at him and he slides his arms around your waist and pulls you close, pressing the toys between you.
I believe they pass. Just to be sure.
He gives you a tight squeeze as he rests his forehead against yours and you laugh. I'm pretty sure you were just looking for an excuse to keep touching me. He flushes as he lets you go and moves to the next station.
Time to
bring these little guys life with a heart. You pick up 2 plush hearts from a bin and hand one to Miles. We're supposed to put all of them in our lovin' in them and then make a wish.
Seems silly if you ask me. Guess it won't hurt to try, though.
You hold the heart up to your chest and close your eyes. I wish for our little ones to have endless candy, achieve their dreams, never be lonely. I want them to always know how loved they are and to have people around to support them through tough times.
I doubt that will be a problem. They have a staff of Greystown and they're twins.
It never hurts to have a little extra reassurance. What about you? What do you wish for? He pushes his hand around the plush heart and pauses for a moment.
For them to never give up. Sometimes the whole world can be against you, but you should still keep fighting for what you believe.
I'm sure with you around to teach them, they'll figure it out. After all, you're fighting for Greystown. I mean, everything you've done as mayor is just proof that you're willing to go to bat for the people of this town.
I'm just doing what's right.
And that's exactly why you're such a great person. Someone our kids can really look up to. You and Miles add your hearts to the stuffed animals and stitch them before carrying them over to an air-dry station for a bath. As you fluff up the stuffed animals and blow out their fur, you turn them to Miles with a grin. We can only hope bathing the little ones will be this easy.
I suspect there will be a lot more splashing involved.
If that means I get to see you all wet, you won't hear me complain.
You ain't getting many cracks a smile before you take a look at your toy. The berriest best! Now we just have to name them. I was thinking Elizabeth and Fitzwilliam after the Pride and Prejudice characters.
Not Elizabeth and Darcy?
I'd rather keep the pattern of using both their first names. What do you think?
I like your names. They might be a little nerdy, but there's no harm in getting the kids hooked on literature early.
We could play act the book with these toys.
That's a brilliant idea. He flushes.
I'm glad you like it.
You and Miles pay for the stuffed animals and step back out into the Greystown streets, where the sun has now set. It was really nice to get a quiet moment together. I know we've been really busy with the park and your election campaign, and we still have a lot of work to do.
Jim, no matter what the future holds, I'll always have time for you.
You lean in to press your lips to his eyes soften with the infection as you share a tender kiss. He slides his arms around your waist and pulls you in until you're pressed so close together that you can feel the heat of his body through his clothing. I think you mean time for this. He chuckles and then meets you in another kiss, each touch stoking the fire inside you until your whole body is aflame. He runs his tongue along your lower lip, then snags it between his teeth, drawing it out between you. You shiver in his arms.
Not just for this.
He smirks, and you crash your lips together once more, letting him completely fill your senses. As you pull away, you give his lips a final peck before smiling down at the stuffed animals in your arms.
At least now we should be set on toys. Are you getting it? I'm not stopping until we have enough baby toys to fill the whole house. With a laugh, the two of you head home for the night. Once editing is finished, the commercial goes live, and within a few days, you and Miles sit at a table in the center of town. I'm telling you, the ad's a stellar success. You're charming and articulate, the perfect candidate. Let's hope Gracetown agrees. Just then, the two people you ran into earlier in the week give you a wave.
Me at Dixon. I saw your ad the other night. I love what you're doing with the park.
I'm actually thinking about adopting one of those dogs you featured. My grandkids would love having a puppy around the house.
We're lucky to have you.
As the townsfolk continue on their way, you turn to Miles with a grin. What did I tell you? There's no way we can lose to Craig now.
Oh, you better knock on some wood. There's still...
Well, well, well. If it isn't the two lamest people in all of Gracetown.
Craig.
It's cute how you think your weird whiny commercial's gonna be enough to stop me. Now tell us what you want, and then leave us the hell alone. Always needing Cassidy to speak up for you, huh, Miles? We both know you wouldn't be doing half as well if she wasn't telling you what to say. You'd never stand a chance against me in a one-on-one debate.
You think so? Let's find out. You and me, 1 week, City Hall.
Oh, you're on.
Oh no. Craig's challenged Miles to a debate. But can he hold his own? Find out in the next chapter of Baby Bump 2. So once again, if you all did enjoy the content, please remember to like, share the video, share to the channel, whichever. And make sure to subscribe as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. It also is a great way for you to receive notification for when I upload content. By the way, we've covered Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I'm slowly putting up on the channel, as well as Cyberpunk 2077, which is the same, slowly being put up on the channel. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. And, hey, in just a few years, wow, it feels that way, doesn't it, in 2020? In a few days, will be the New Year's. I will be streaming live on Twitch. Thanks again for watching. Catch you all later. Peace.